have an interview, and Cosmos. It was formerly the New Cosmic Star.
Oh, I see.
And we just changed the name for January, first issue. The first issue is just, well, it's out, coming off the printer today.
It is published every monthly?
Yeah, monthly. That's correct. That's correct, yes. And we cover Eastern religions. We did a feature article this month on Bishop James Pike, UFOs, astrology. We have, you know, Dr. Bode, Primrose Bode, from he's with Manly Hall. Are you familiar with Manly Hall?
No.
You don't know? You don't know Primrose Bode?
No.
He's from India.
I
Parsi.
Parsi?
Yes. He does an article for us next month. But I spoke to Dan and I told him that one of the things I would like to ask you, and I think that an awful lot of our readers and an awful lot of people in the United States are terribly confused with the many people who claim to be avatars, who come from India to this country, one after the other, and they say...
I can declare they are all nonsense.
That's what... I wanted to, if you could elaborate on that.
I can say furthermore, they are all rascals.
The Maharishi, for example.
He was for rascal number one, I say, publicly.
Can you explain, give me a little background on that and why? Because our
I
readers
do not know, but from his behavior, I can understand he is rascal number one. I do not like to know about him, but what he did. But the wonderful thing is that people in Western countries are supposed to be so advanced. How they are befooled by this rascal?
Well, I think that people believe what they want to believe. They're looking for something.
Yes,
and
but
he comes along.
They want something very cheap. That is their fault.
Yeah.
Now, for our disciples, we don't give anything cheap. Our first condition is character, moral character. You see? So unless one is accepting moral character, we don't initiate, don't allow him in this institution. And this Maharshi was, oh, you do whatever you like. You simply pay me $35 and I give you some mantra. You see? So people wanted to be cheated and so many cheaters come. They do not wish to undergo some disciplinary action. You see? Anything, they have got money, they think that I shall pay and immediately you get the money.
Instant heaven.
Yes, that is their position. Just like people are trying to go to the moon planet. I have given my opinion, you have seen, in the Los Angeles Times. This chance is very remote.
Oh?
Yes. Why not? Suppose in your country, you have got some quota for immigration. Within this planet, if somebody comes without your immigration department's order, nobody can enter. How do you expect in that planet where the people are more advanced, they are called demigods, they are living for 10,000 years, how you expect that you go and you are immediately enter into the moon planet and they are selling tickets, reservations, everything they make a fun of it, you see.
Let me understand this if I may. Are you saying that there are people on the moon?
Yes.
There are?
Yes.
And they are demigods?
Yes.
They are demigods. How do you know that?
From our scripture, from Vedic literature.
From what literature?
Vedic literature.
How do you spell that?
Vedic.
Oh, Vedic. I beg your pardon.
Yes.
You'll forgive me if I must ask.
That's all right. That doesn't.
I don't mean to affront you.
Sometimes I do not follow your accent.
I know.
Yeah,
I
that
know.
is difference of country. That
Okay.
doesn't matter. Yes.
And from that literature, Vedic literature,
Yes.
it is stated in that there are people on the moon,
Oh, yeah.
but they're demigods.
The demigods means they're highly advanced than this human being. Therefore, they are also living entities like us. But their duration of life, their standard of life, their civilization, their spiritual knowledge so advanced that they are called demigods, almost God. They are so advanced. Demigods means almost God.
Yeah.
They have got all godly qualities, and they are controller of the atmospheric affairs. Some of them are controlling rainy season, some of them controlling heat. As you have got controller here, some departmental, director of this department, director of that department, similarly, why don't you think that this cosmic manifestation, there is a great brain behind it, and there are different directors and there is management. People do not accept it. Nature. What do you mean by nature? Such nice things, such wonderful things are going on automatically without any control. Yes.
Well, I don't know. It's a question that, of course, one asks oneself all the time, I guess. It's part of man's quest to find himself and...
But they should have common sense that you are trying to float one Sputnik, so many scientific brains are working. And millions of wonderful Sputniks, which are called planets, they are floating in the air. There is no brain behind it. What is this? Is that very good reasoning?
Well, I don't know. I must ponder that.
And we should know it. How it can be? There must be a very big brain behind this. They are working.
Now, do you say that the moon is, so to speak, what should I say, headquarters, where these demigods
No,
live?
there are many planets on the same level.
Oh,
There are many planets. Moon is one of them.
I see.
Yes.
Have any of these demigod creatures visited the earth, or I mean?
Formally they used to, because at that time people were to see them. You see?
When you say formally, you mean thousands of years ago, or
No, at least 5,000 years ago.
at least 5,000 years ago? The last time that we would know.
Yeah.
Are they in human form?
Yes, we so far we get information. Sometimes great sacrifices were performed, and demigods from other planets, they were invited, and they used to come.
And this is your authority for this statement is based in the Vedic literature?
Yes.
I see.
It is not manufactured by me.
Oh, I know. No, I'm not implying that. No, sorry. But I just want to know where the verification.
My authority is Vedic literature. Yes.
Yeah, the Vedic form.
You will find Bhagavad Gita. You have seen our book, Bhagavad Gita?
Yeah, we have it at the office.
There are descriptions. There are description of these things.
Mm-hmm.
There is description of another nature, which is called spiritual nature. This is material nature.
Mm-hmm.
The sky, as far as you can see, this is one universe.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, there are millions of universes. And all these together, that is material sky. And beyond that, there is spiritual sky, which is far, far greater than this. And there are spiritual planets. So this information we have got from Bhagavad Gita.
Mm-hmm.
What to speak of other Vedic literature? Bhagavad Gita, it is daily read by practically all over the world, but they do not understand it. They simply become student of Bhagavad Gita, or simply just to think falsely that I am God, that's all. But they don't take any particular information. There is a verse in the 8th chapter, Parastasmatu bhavanyam bhaktya bhaktya sanatana. There is another nature beyond this material nature, which is eternal. This nature is coming into existence, again dissolution. But that nature is eternal. These things are there. Similarly, their planets are also eternal. They are living entities, they are also eternal. That is called Sanatan. Sanatan means eternal, without any end, without any beginning. But this nature, as we have, this body has got a beginning and it has end. Similarly, anything, this cosmic nature has a beginning and it has an end. So this Krishna consciousness movement is how to transfer ourselves to that nature, eternal nature.
That's man's quest.
Yes. That is the quest. Everyone is trying to be happy because that is every living entity's prerogative. He is by nature to become happy. But he does not know where to become happy. He is trying to become happy where four things are, miserable conditions are there, namely birth, death, disease and old age. There are so many scientists, they are trying to become happy, to make people happy, but which scientist has tried to stop death, to stop old age, to stop disease? Has any scientist tried?
I don't know.
Huh? So what is this? Why do they not take consideration that we are making so much improvement? What improvement we have done about these four things? They have no. And still they are very much proud, advanced in education, science. But the four primary miserable conditions, they remain as they are. There may be advancement in medical science, but there is no medicine which can claim no more disease. Come on. Is there any medicine? Then what is that advancement? Rather, disease are increasing in different forms. They have invented nuclear weapon. What is that? To kill. Well, have you invented something so that no more man will die? That is credit. But the man is dying every moment. So you have invented something to accelerate that death. That's all. Is that very good credit? So there is no solution of that. There is no. They are trying to stop the, overpopulation. But what is the solution? Every minute there are 3% increase. That is the statistics. So there is no solution for birth, there is no solution for death, there is no solution for disease, and there is no solution for old age. There was a great scientist, Professor Einstein, he also died in old age. Why did he not stop to check old age? Everyone is trying to remain youthful. Where is that process? So they do not care how to solve this because this is beyond their means. They are giving something bluff, that's all. They do not care what is the real problem and how to solve it. They do not care. Here is a movement, Krishna consciousness. That is the real solution of all problems. If people take it seriously, yes. And the whole thing is described in the Bhagavad Gita. Let them try to understand it. At least make an experiment. Why they are so much callous and in going in their own way?
Let me ask you, I have my opinion, but I want to ask you, why do you feel that the younger people today are turning more and more toward the Eastern-oriented religions?
because you have failed to give them satisfaction.
You what?
You have failed to give them satisfaction. Your this materialistic way of life will no more satisfy them. There is a stage. In the beginning, when one is poverty-stricken, he may think that money and woman and good apartment, good car can give me satisfaction. They are after this. But after enjoyment then, they see there is no satisfaction because matter cannot satisfy. So your stage is, in America especially, you have got enough for enjoyment. You have got enough food, you have got enough woman, you have got enough wine, you have got enough house, everything enough. This shows that material advancement cannot give one satisfaction. The confusion, dissatisfaction is more in your country than in India, which is said to be poverty-stricken. You see? But you will find in India still, although they are poverty-stricken, because they are continuing that old culture, they are not disturbed. Yes. They are dying inch by inch, but still they are satisfied. All right. Why? Because they have got little tinge of spiritual platform. So it is necessary now that people should take spiritual life. That will make them happy. There is no hope. All these people, they are in darkness. They do not know where they are going. They have no aim. But when you are spiritually situated, you know what you are doing, where you are going, what is your future. Everything is clear.
So I just follow up on this very briefly. In other words, you feel that the Western-oriented church, whether it be the synagogue or the church or the whatever, has failed to present.
Yes,
you say that its message is not relevant, or that they have failed to present their message properly?
No. The thing is, these Western churches, just like Christianity, these gospels were spoken long, long ago to the primitive man, you see, Jerusalem. These people were living in desert and they are not so much advanced. So at that time, of course, in Bible or in the Old Testament, the idea of God is there, that is all nice. But they just like the statement, God created this world. That is a fact. Now, those people were not advanced in those. Now, at the present moment, people are advanced scientifically. They want to know how the creation has taken place. You see? And that explanation is not there. Neither the church can give them. Yes. Therefore, they are not satisfied. Simply officially going to the church and offering prayer, that does not appeal to them. Besides that, practically they do not follow religious principles. Just like in the Old Testament, there is, I want to say, 10 commandments. And there is a commandment that thou shalt not kill. Mm-hmm. But killing affair is very prominent in the Christian world. They are maintaining slaughterhouse very regularly. And they have manufactured a theory that animals have no soul, they do not feel, because they have to kill. Give the dog a bad name and hang it. Why? Animal cannot feel. Why you are committing these sinful activities? So the priestly class, they will not also say, they will not discuss, everyone is silent. That means deliberately, disobeying 10 commandments. So where is religious principle? If you don't obey the commandments of your scripture, does it mean that you are following religion nicely? How you can kill, which you cannot create? And it is plainly stated that thou shalt not kill. What is the answer? Why they are killing? What is the answer? How do you answer it?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
Well, it's obviously thou shalt not kill is an ethic, and it's timeless, and it's valid. But man is not really interested.
That
in
means
ethics.
they are not interested in religion. It is simply a make so bottle. Then how they can be happy? If you do not follow the regulative principles, then where is your religion?
I'm not arguing with you.
Yes.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Yes.
I'm in total agreement. It doesn't make any sense. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt worship no other gods before me. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's ass. Thou shalt honor thy father and thy mother. Those are beautiful ethics, but they're not obeyed.
Thou shalt not kidnap your neighbor's wife.
Wife, covet.
So who is following this?
No one.
So,
Very few.
so how you can expect that religious? And without religion, a human society is animal society.
All right, well then let me ask you this. Along this line, now I'm not asking any...
Take it.
Thank you. I'm not asking any of these questions facetiously. Please
Yes.
understand. What does your interpretation, or how does it differ in principle from the basic Jewish Christian ethic of the Ten Commandments? How does it differ?
There is no difference.
All right, then if that's the case, what have you to offer? When I say you, I'm using impersonal.
Yes.
Basically,
Yes.
what have you to offer that is different than the Christian ethos, or the Jewish ethos?
Because, as I have told you, that none of them are strictly following God's commandment. I simply come that you follow God's commandment. That is my message.
In other words, the obeying
Yes.
of those principles.
I don't say that you Christian, you become Hindu or you come to me. I simply say you obey this commandment. That is my order. I make you better Christian. That is my mission. I don't say that God is not there, God is here. But I simply say that you obey God. That is my mission. I don't say that you have to come to this platform and accept Krishna as God and no other. No, I don't say. I didn't say, please obey God. Please try to love God. That is my mission.
Then again...
And I give the way how to love God. Very easily. How to learn, provided we agree.
We see again, we get back to this...
So, practically you follow that I have no difference.
Yes, I understand.
Yes.
I appreciate
You believe in God, I believe in God.
Yes.
I simply say you try to love God.
Well, I'm still... It's not that I'm confused. I understand what you're saying.
You are confused still?
No, I understand what you are saying. What confuses me or makes it, when I say me and so many of our readers, is why is it, let me ask a question again, and let me ask it maybe to become clear in my mind. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but let me say it this way. Are you saying that if your mission and the mission of the Jewish, Christian, Western ethic is the same? Again, let me ask the same question. Why is it that the younger people, or people in general, are disenchanted, are trying to go toward the Eastern-oriented religions if their aim or premise is the same as the Western?
Yes.
Why are they going toward the Eastern if the premise is the same?
Because these Christian people, they are not teaching them practically. I am teaching them practically.
In other words, you're teaching them what you feel is a practical,
Yeah.
everyday, daily method
Yeah.
of attaining the fulfillment of
Yes,
man's spirit.
how to the love of Godhead is being taught by Bible or Old Testament and Gita. That is all right. But you are not teaching them how to love God. I am teaching them how to love God. That is the difference. Therefore young people are attracted.
So the end is the same, it's the method of getting there.
Not method. You are not at all following. Even the method is there. Just I say, the method is there. Don't kill, and you are killing.
I say, but the end is the same. Your
End is the same.
Is the same, but it's the way of
Method is also same.
Yeah.
But they are not teaching people to follow the method. I am teaching them practically how to follow and how to do it.
Let me ask you something here that we've run into a great deal just recently. We've just started a youth supplement for kids. And one of the most, what should I say? That particular thing which provides perhaps the biggest schism between man's, or at least American man's and woman's, love of God or the following of the Ten Commandments is the problem, how should I put it? Well, the sexual problem. We here in this country are taught, and we have the Puritan background, that sex is a bad thing. And I think hopefully we're coming out of it. But when young people, a person reaches the age of puberty, here in this country, I don't know from other countries, begins to have obviously a terrible problem. Now I'm stating something that's obvious. We've all gone through this.
Yes, everyone.
But it seems that it has been impossible for the Western churches to give to the young people something to hold on to so that they can understand, number one, that what they're feeling is a normal, beautiful thing, and number two, how to cope with it. And there is nothing in Western culture that teaches or helps a young person to cope with this thing that is a very, very difficult problem. And I went through it. We all have.
Yes,
now, do you, in your message, give the young people something to hold, to hang on to, and if so, what?
Yes, I give.
What?
I ask all my disciples to get married. I don't allow these boys living with boyfriend, girlfriend. No. If you must get yourself married, live like gentlemen. Treat your wife as assistant. Treat your husband as your provider. In this I am teaching. This boy was just 4 days before he is professor. So I have got so many of my disciples married, and they are living very happy. This girl is married. Formally they are living with girlfriend, boyfriend. I don't allow that. I don't allow that.
Well, let me get a little more basic. How about when someone is 14, 15, 16 years old?
The same thing. Of course, another thing is that we teach our boys to become brahmachari. Brahmachari. Brahmachari means how to live the life of celibacy. Just how I'll explain.
Yeah. All right.
Brahmachari life.
Yeah, I understand.
Well, it's control of the senses, and he teaches us how to control the senses. Generally, marriage doesn't take place until a boy is about 22, 23, 25.
You mean in his culture?
Yes.
Yeah.
We select girl, say about 16, 17 years old, and boy, not more than 24 years old. I get them married. You see? And because their attention is diverted to Krishna consciousness, they have very little interest simply for sex life. You see? They have got better engagement. Parang drishtani vartate. You see? We give substitute. We simply don't say that you don't do it, but we give something better. You see? Then automatically the don't automatically comes. You see?
At the right time.
And immediately. We give something better, engagement.
What is this?
Just like our boys and girls, they're all engaged in Krishna consciousness business, in temple work, in painting, in typing, in recording, so many things. And they're happy. So they're not going to cinema, they're not going to club, they're not drinking, they're not smoking. So practically I'm training them how to control. And there is possibility. Because these boys and girls, they are all Americans. They are not imported from India. Why they have taken to it? This system is so nice that they have liked it. So if you spread this system, then everything will be solved.
So, well, then that's...
We don't prohibit that you don't mix with women or you stop sex life. We don't say that. But we make everything regulated under Krishna consciousness. Their aim is higher. These are on secondary platform. So in this way, everything is nice.
Is this what Gandhi did?
Huh? No, what Gandhi knew. He was a politician. He did not know anything about this culture.
Well, I read that when he was 36 years old, he became a celibate. That was it.
That is, of course, he had some Hindu cultural ideas. That is nice. He began very basic. That's all right. But Gandhi had no very advanced spiritual ideas. You see. He was more or less politician, statesman.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
A very courageous
yes.
man. Well, this the answer seems very very pat, so to speak. And if it's that...
Now, if you cooperate, then I can change the whole thing in your country. They will be very happy. Everything will be very nice. This Krishna consciousness movement is so nice. Provided you cooperate. Nobody is cooperating. Simply these boys, they have kindly come to me and cooperating. So my movement is progressing, but very slowly. But if the leaders of the American people, they come and they try to understand and they try to introduce the system, so your country will be the nicest country in the world.
You, how long have you been involved in this?
2.5 years.
2.5 years? How old are you, if I may ask?
I'm 28.
You're 28. Has this sort of turned you around?
Considerably.
From a practical standpoint, how is this sexual thing that Swami was talking about, how has this affected you? I mean, have you found that there's efficacy in that which has been, we were just talking about? Because to me it's a very paramount problem in terms of young people.
Well, there are desires, and we have so many desires. And the sexual desire is perhaps one of our strongest desires.
Mm-hmm.
So these
Yes.
desires are channels, so to speak. They're redirected, and they're directed toward Krishna.
Well, I understand that, but I'm saying, is it efficacious? Does it work?
Yes, it works. It works, but you have to stick with it. It can be very difficult, especially at first, but it works. You have to resolve to make it work. You have to want it to work.
I want to understand this thoroughly. In other words, it's nothing that you feel that you're giving up.
No, it's that when you see something better.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And
That's important.
You
are accepting something better.
Better.
That's
not by just biting your tongue and,
Yeah.
or your lips and saying, I won't touch that, I won't touch that. There is a substitute.
It's not, you have a capacity for enjoyment, and you're not going to give up something. It's very human not to give up something unless you have something better. So, the case is that you have to get something better.
Yeah.
You give up one thing.
Mm-hmm. How long have you been here, sir?
I came here in September 1965, and then I was little indisposed in May 1967, I think. Then I went back to India. Then again I came back in December 1967. Just 1 year passed.
Yes, I see.
Yes.
Why did you come here? I mean, yeah.
Because I want to give this culture to the world, and my idea is that America is advanced country. If they accept it, then it will be possible to broadcast the idea throughout the whole world. That is my idea. But I am hopeful now, because these educated young Americans, they are taking serious interest to this movement. And we are publishing papers, books, and they are writing very nicely. So I am an old man, I may die, but I have implanted the idea. It will go on. It will go on. And they will be accepted. That experiment is done. If it is nicely propagated, then it will be accepted without any fail. And these boys who have come to me, they have taken seriously. So I am hopeful.
I saw your magazine. It's a beautiful magazine.
Back to Godhead.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful magazine.
Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful thing. Who is it? Where is that done?
It is published in New York.
In New York.
Yeah.
There. I saw the latest issue. Beautiful. How many people are in the movement? I mean, approximately.
I've got about a little more than 100 disciples who are strictly following my regulative principles.
100.
Yes.
Yeah.
In different branches. I've got about 13 branches. Some of the disciples are working in London.
In London?
Yes, they're doing very nice.
Oh, yeah.
They're all married couples. I got them married. Yes, I got them married. The young boys, all within 30. My oldest disciple is 28, otherwise 25, 24, at most 30. And similarly, girls, you have seen this girl, you see. So I get them, make them happy, marriage life. Their mentality is now, they're not after so-called popped-up life. They can live very simply, with least demand of bodily necessities, but thinking very high of Krishna consciousness. So I am very hopeful that even I die, because I am an old man, 73 years old, I may die at any moment, but I am now assured my movement will go on, these boys will carry. That my mission is, in that way, is successful. I came here with this idea, that this Krishna consciousness movement should be started for America, because anything accepted by America, people follow, because America is considered to be this. Now actually, America is not a poverty-stricken country. No. So they can very easily understand, they can take it. And there are many confused youths. So with all this consideration I came here. And I think I'm successful. Yes.
Doesn't seem like very many converts in that amount of time. How many followers, other than... Pardon me, please.
That's all.
How many followers are there within the... Just 100?
Little more than 100.
Well, wait.
Well, these are initiates who are strictly following. Of course, there are more and more people come to the temple. More people join.
How many temples are there?
We have about 13 temples.
How many?
30.
13?
One in this Los Angeles, one San Francisco, one New York, one Santa Fe, one Buffalo, one Boston, one Montreal, one Vancouver, and Seattle, Columbus, and then London, Hamburg. In this way, Hawaii.
Yeah. Well, there got to be more than 100 people in 13 temples.
Yeah.
These are,
Yes, more than 100. Yes. About.
I don't know.
Yes, I've got list. There's more than
It must
100.
be at least, because that would only be an average of 10 per temple.
Yes. Here we have got about 20 heads in this temple.
But 20 here.
Yes.
Now, where does the money come from to print Godhead?
God sends.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah, but God doesn't write checks and stuff like that. I'm just sort of curious. And I must say that
God dictates you and you pay. That's all.
I must say that answer to that question is a very ambivalent answer.
Yeah.
And
I came here, you will be surprised. I came here with $7 only. And the whole establishment expenditure is not less than, I think, $5,000 monthly. At least.
That's $60,000 a year.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, is it donated?
Do you think 5,000 is very minimum? I think it is more than that.
I have no idea.
Yes. Because we are paying, this temple we are paying 400, simply rent. Similarly, each and every place we are paying 300, 400 rent.
Well, do people come to the services who are not disciples?
Yes. No, we allow everyone, come on.
Yeah.
Chant, take prasadam, we offer this prasadam. Chant, dance, hear Bhagavad Gita, and take prasadam and go home.
Yeah. And in other words, so that if they want to donate something, they donate.
Yes, we ask donation, that we are simply depending on donation. If you like, you can pay.
Yeah.
People pay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And is that how the magazine is published?
Magazine also we take to the market and put it for sale. People purchase. So actually, we have no steady fund.
Oh, you don't?
No. We're simply depending on Krishna. But by the grace of Krishna, our movement is increasing. It is not decreasing.
That's good.
That's
Yeah, that's fine. I just, I'm curious about this because it's a beautiful magazine. It
So
really
try
is.
to help us.
Pardon?
Try to help this movement. Your America, there are so many rich men. If somebody comes and helps this movement, one or two, we can make very steady progress. We have no money. They're struggling very hard. You see, this boy is professor in the YU University. So whatever he is earning, he is spending for this. Similarly, all the boys, whatever they earn, they spend. But that is not sufficient. You see, we require to make propaganda. We cannot sufficiently publish this magazine. We want to publish it at least 50,000 per month. But there is no money. You see, we are publishing at most 5,000.
Somebody's blowing a shofar.
Conchshell.
Thought it was a shofar.
What is that?
A shofar.
Sofa? Huh? No.
The Jewish ram's horn.
Oh,
This Conchshell sounding is considered auspicious. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Actually it is Conchshell sounding.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So after offering prayer to the Lord,
Mm-hmm.
we babble this concept.
I guess I really asked the main question, not the main question, but the thing that I wanted to know was, again, was why this and about people like the Maharishi, which turned me off and so many people. And my daughter was very involved in that kind of thing for a while.
The psychology,
she's terribly disillusioned.
yes, the psychology is that your people all the Western people, especially youngsters, they are hankering after something, you see. But the difficulty is, just like me, if somebody comes, Swamiji initiates me, I immediately says that you have to follow these four principles. He goes there. And this Maharshi, he did not put any restriction. Is it? Just like a physician, if he says that you can do whatever you like, you simply take my medicine, you'll be cured. That physician will be very much liked. You see?
Yeah, he'll kill a lot of people, but
Yeah.
he's very liked. Yeah.
And a physician who says, oh, you cannot do this, you cannot do this, you cannot eat this, it is botheration. So, they want something. That is a fact. But at the same time, they want it very cheap. Therefore, the cheaters come and cheat them. They take the opportunity. These people want to be cheated. Let us take the advantage, you see.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, they are advising that you are God, everyone is God, you just realize yourself, you have forgotten, and you take this mantra and you become God and you become powerful, whatever you like you can control, and there is no control of senses, you can drink, you can have unrestricted sex life and whatever you like. People like this, oh. Simply by 15 minutes meditation, I shall become God, and I have to pay only $35. So many millions of people will be ready. Oh, let me, I mean, $35 in the country is not, but that man, 35 multiplied by million, he becomes $35 million. And we are crying here because we cannot bluff. We say that if you actually want, you have to follow this restriction. We cannot allow you that the commandment is, you shall not kill. And I shall say, yes, you can kill. The animal has no feeling. The animal has no soul. We cannot bluff in this.
That's about it. I want to know. It's a shame that this kind of thing, as I say, has turned off an awful lot of kids. An awful, very disenchanted young people. Because
so please try to help us. This movement is very nice. It will help the humanity. It will help your country, the whole human society. It is a genuine movement. There is nothing bluff or nothing cheating. It is authorized. So I request you because...
Authorized by whom?
By authorized from Krishna.
Is there in India a licensing body by the state for people who to preach or to how the heck would you say it here?
It was not there because in India there are so many churches and they are supposed to be very saintly person. So simply to become a disciple of a saintly person is sufficient certificate. Just like in your country, marriage requires certificate. In India still there is no certificate. The boys and girls, they are seated and before the relatives and priests and elderly person, they are offered, I am doing that. There is no certificate. But still their connection is lifelong. What certificate will do? That ceremony is so nice. The wife takes my husband for life and the husband takes wife as he is my companion for life. They cannot separate. There is no history in India that there was a certificate issued. No. But still the connection is so nice, the lifelong. Now they are being westernized, especially I am very sorry to say that lately our so-called westernized leaders, they are introducing this Hindu code bill, this marriage certificate, this and that. But formally they are like this.
Is there much divorce in India?
Yes, They're modern and so-called advanced boys and girls. They're now after divorce.
But before
But
that,
before that, even there was misunderstanding between husband and wife, there is no question of divorce. Take for my life, practical. I was a householder, now I have given up. So practically, I did not agree with my wife. But there is no dream of divorcing. You see?
Mhm.
There is neither she dreamt, neither I dreamt. This was unknown.
Mhm.
Now they are being introduced.
Yeah. Western culture.
Ah, yes.
Do you have much of a following in India itself?
Yes. Not mine personally, but my other god brothers. This cult is very good.
How many
Oh,
gods?
millions. We have got this Vaishnava philosophy, the Krishna consciousness, millions and millions, almost all, 80%. You ask any Indian and he will talk so many things about Krishna consciousness. He may not be my disciple, but there are many saintly persons like me, they are doing this business.
Did you get a formal training with a?
Yes, I was initiated by my Guru Maharaj. Is that my spiritual master photo?
Oh, I see.
Yes. So, your country wanted a certificate for making me permanent resident. So I got a certificate from my god brothers that I am initiated.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. But otherwise, in our country, there is no necessity of certificate.
In other words, there's nothing like going to a seminary in India where you go to a seminary or a monastery and
No,
take
this
a
is
course
monastery.
for 4
This is
years.
Yes, there is a monastery. We have got an institution, Gaudiya Mountain Institution. They have got hundreds of branches.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You go for a prescribed course of study?
Yes, prescribed course of study, 2-3 books, that's all. Anyone can read. Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. You learn everything. You haven't got to learn so many huge volumes of books. Because Bhagavad Gita is such nice book. If you can understand one line, you
Yeah.
advance 100 years. You see?
Yeah.
So it's meaningful and so solid.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, we have published this Bhagavad Gita as it is. Let your people read it. Let them question and try to understand what is this movement.
Mm-hmm. Macmillan is publishing this.
Yes, Macmillan.
Yeah. Now, do you go to this institute for a certain period of time?
There is no fixed period.
There is.
No. But say for me, I was trained, my father was of this line.
Oh, your father did?
Oh, yes. My father trained me from childhood.
Ah.
Yes. And then I met my spiritual master in 1922, and I was initiated in 19... on the whole, there was a background. Because as I told you, 80-90% people are Krishna conscious, my family-wise.
I see.
You see?
Uh-huh.
You see? So we are trained up from the beginning of our life. Officially, of course, I accepted my spiritual master in 1933.
I see.
Since then, I had some background, and since I met, I developed this idea.
I see. So you have been, in a sense, spreading this word since 1933 on your own.
No, I am spreading this missionary since 1900, practically since 59.
59.
Yes.
I see. What did you do from the time?
I was a householder. I was doing business in medicine. Formerly, I was manager in a big chemical farm. But I was cultivating this knowledge.
I see.
Although I was householder, I was publishing this Back to Godhead.
Oh, you were publishing that?
In India.
Oh, I
Yes,
see.
yes. I started in 1947
Yeah.
under the order of my spiritual master. So whatever I was earning, I was spending.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I was not getting any return, but I was distributing.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing this business
Mhm.
since a long time. But actually, after giving up all connection with my family, I am doing this work since 1959.
Well, do you have children? Or?
Oh yes, I've got grown-up boys.
Well, you just left them?
Yes. I've got my wife, my grandchildren, everyone. But I have no connection with them. They are doing their own way. My wife is interested to the elderly boys. Yes.
Well, is that I find that sort of difficult to
What is that?
assimilate. To give up your family and just sort of say, see you
Yes,
later.
yes, that is the Vedic regulation.
Oh.
Everyone should give up family connection at a certain age, after the age of 50. One should not remain in family life. That is Vedic culture. Not that up to death one is in family wise. No, that is not good.
Can you explain?
First of all, a boy is trained as brahmachari, spiritual life. Then he is advised not to enter family life. But if he is unable to control his sex life, he is allowed, all right, to get yourself married. Then he remains in family life, say he marries at the age of 24 or 25. If 25 years, let him enjoy sex life. In the meantime, he gets some elderly children. So at the age of 50, the husband and wife goes away from home and they travel in all places of pilgrimage just to detach them from family affection. In this way, when the man is little more advanced, he asks his wife that you go and take care of the family and your sons grown up, they will take care of you. Let me take sannyas. So he becomes alone and preaches the knowledge which he has acquired. This is Vedic civilization. Not that a man should remain in family life from birth to death. No. In Buddhism also, there is compulsory regulative principle that a Buddhist must become a sannyasi at least for 10 years.
Hmm.
Yes.
No, then.
Because the whole idea is how to attain spiritual perfection. So if one remains in family life encumbered, he cannot make any spiritual advancement. But if the family also, whole family is Krishna conscious, then it is helpful. But that is very rare. Because the husband may be Krishna conscious, the wife may not be. But the culture was so nice that everyone remained Krishna conscious.
Do you think that that really, from a very practical standpoint, do you think that your movement has a chance to make it here in America?
So far I've seen it has great chance. What do you think?
From a very pragmatic standpoint, what do you think? Really?
Yes, it has possibilities. I don't know about on a wide scale, but it definitely has possibilities. Especially in, I think in these areas in the cities.
Cosmopolitan area.
Of course, we're also starting a community in West Virginia.
You are? Why West Virginia?
Well, this is where we're starting. I've just started it with others' help. The community.
You're starting it?
He has secured a land, about 138 acres.
May I ask you why you picked?
It's mountainous and it's very economical living there.
Yeah, it is mountains. Well, I mean, there's mountains here too. I'm not being facetious again. I'm just curious.
No, it's very economical living there, and it's also nicely located because we have temples in New York and other areas in the east. So it's sort of like between the east and the west, sort of centrally.
One thing is that the main supporter is he. He is working in Ohio University, he's nearer.
Where are you?
Here in the Ohio State University.
That's where you teach? How come you're not teaching now?
Well, this is Christmas vacation.
Oh, you're on vacation. You have tickets to the bowl game?
No.
Oh. The heck, I come all the way down here and you can't even get a ticket to the bowl game. From Ohio State or Ohio University?
Ohio State.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're playing the game here.
You think?
I know.
yeah, I would feel that you had not attained that level of being out of it yet, that you wouldn't know that. That would. Well, I really think I've asked most of the questions that I want to ask. I really sort of knew the answers. The ultimate of the answer, that is. I can't really think of much else to say or to ask. Have you anything that you'd like to say that might be of some kind of revelation to me or to our readers or something that you know what you're really saying? There's no easy way out. If a man is to attain any goal in his quest for fulfillment, he's got to work at it. Really, isn't really what it amounts to. So your message is really no different from that of Moses or Christ or any of the other great religious leaders. That if people will follow the ethic of the Ten Commandments and follow it, that's where it is.
We ask people that we don't say that you give up your this religion and come to us. But at least you follow your own principles. And just like a student, after finish, sometimes in India it happens that although they have passed MA examination in Indian university, they come to foreign university to study more. So why does it come? To get more enlightenment. Similarly, any religious scripture you may follow. But if you get more enlightenment here, in this Krishna conscious movement, why should you not accept it? If you are serious about God. Mm-hmm. Why should you say, oh, I am Christian, I am Jews, I cannot attend your meeting? Why should you say, oh, I cannot allow you to speak in my church? If I am speaking about God, what objection you have got?
Well, I couldn't agree with you more.
Yes.
I'm sure you know, and I'm certainly aware that it's only recently that, for example, a Catholic couldn't even come in here. He has a son of the church. That's changed.
Now I have written one letter to Pope. You have seen that? Oh, where is that paper?
It's in here.
Oh, the letter to the... Did he answer?
I'm not receiving any answer. In this paper?
I don't know.
No, not in this paper. Where is the latest?
It's in the latest.
Who is there? Asked to bring one latest. Bring one latest. Yes. So you just that letter, but unfortunately I have received no reply. How is that?
I guess he doesn't figure that you're of sufficient importance for him to deign to reply, I guess. That's about the way I figure. They don't are inclined not to give credence to too much that isn't of his own doing or making or something.
Mm-hmm. I do think that is very nice. And just will you read or he will read?
What is the renounced order? What's the
Renounced, this is renounced. I have no family connection.
Oh.
I used to cooperate with everyone, but they are declining. What can I do? I am prepared to talk with any God-conscious man and let us chalk out a program so that people may be benefited. But they want to go in their own stereotyped way. The Pope himself is harassed by the contraceptive proposal. People want sanction from him to use unrestricted contraceptive method. If we see that following a particular type of religious principle, one is developing his love of Godhead, that is first class religion.
Mm-hmm.
But if one is developing his love for demon or mammon, then where is the religion?
True. No.
They say, that is our test. If you have developed, we don't say that you follow Christianism or Mohammedanism or Judaism and Hinduism. We don't say. Whether you are developing a love of God. But they deny, oh, I am God. Who is God? I am God. You see? Everyone is taught nowadays that everyone is God. Just see how fun. Everyone is God, do you think? Like that?
You know from Mir Baba?
Huh?
You know,
He is also another rascal. He is preaching this, that everyone is God.
he says he's God.
He is God. Yes, see. This is going.
Do you know him?
Huh?
Have you ever seen him?
I have heard his name. I don't care to know these people.
Yeah.
He's making some propaganda. He's God.
He says he hasn't spoken in 40 years. 45 years.
That means people do not know what is God. Suppose if I come to you, if I say I am President Johnson, will you accept me?
No, I don't think I would.
That these people, rascals, are accepting as God because they do not know what is God. That is the defect. We know what is God. Therefore we cannot accept any rascal declaring that he is God. That is the defect.
Well, it's just absolutely absurd that somebody comes down and tells you he's God.
But how much rascal he is who accepts him as God? He is rascal number one. He is a cheater, and the man who is cheated, he is also another rascal. He does not know what is God. Anybody comes and God. As God has become so cheap, it can be available in the market everywhere.
Well, of course, the Western concept that man is created in the image of God, consequently God must look like man, kind of thing. Therefore, any man can be God or
Well,
godly.
that's all right. You have got so many scientists, just find out what is the image of God, whether he is form, is not. Where is that department? You have no such department. You have got so many department, technology department, this department. Where is that department? What is God to know? Is there any department of knowledge?
I don't know if there's no God department working that I know
Yes,
of.
sir.
I'll tell you that right now.
That is difficult. But here is it. The Krishna conscious movement is the department of knowledge, how to know God. Then he will not accept any rascal as God. He will accept only God as God.
I don't suppose it comes under the Department of Defense.
I am simply surprised that how people accept any man who comes and proposes that I am God, you are God. They have no conception. In this paper also there is an interview with that boy. What is that boy? He says, oh, everyone is God. And everyone is God, then what is the meaning of God?
Well, I couldn't agree with you more, but
See?
it's amazing to me. You see, that's why I came. I asked you. You know what? What is all this thing about?
At least
because we get, in our paper, we must have. I couldn't tell you how many letters and we have disciples of guys. Every week there's another guy that's coming down the pike. Here comes God. He's got this to say, and this one's got this to say, and this one's got this to say. Meyer Babas till they're running out your ears. They're all over the place.
Mahan Baba is here?
No, he's not here. But I mean, I'm talking about we have readers who are constantly making us aware of this avatar and that avatar and avatar. You know, you get tired of it after a while. I mean, my God.
Because at least this is a place where you won't get such ideas. We don't say like that.
It's terrible. And it's an indication to me, yeah, of course that doesn't make me any genius, any dunce can figure this out. But it's an indication of a terrible
These propaganda
situation in terms of confusion.
Yes.
People are searching very, very much. They don't know where to go. They're almost in a state of panic.
So what do you think of us?
Figure.
What do you think of us? What is your...
What is my opinion?
Yeah, yes.
Well, I think you've got, you know, what you're saying is nice. And it's meaningful. But I don't think it's any more meaningful than what perhaps the Code of Hammurabi, or what Moses got from God on Sinai, or what Jesus
every
Christ said.
Every God-conscious person will say the same thing.
Every what?
Every God-conscious person will say that God is worshipable. He does not pose himself as God. You see? Actually, one is one who is actually God-conscious. He will never say that I am God. He will say, just love God or worship God.
Yeah.
That is the difference.
Yeah. Well, that's, you know, my particular religious beliefs are, I've always been considered a black sheep anyway. I'm sort of considered to be an odd duck. I don't care. Everybody can have his own thing. That's his own bag. Fine. Of course, it's difficult for me to make any kind of a judgment about your particular kind of a thing. It would hardly be worthy of me to sit here and to make a judgment. But based on what you have told me, your message is love. That's all you're preaching is love. Is that right?
That's all. Love of God.
Love of God.
Yes.
And through God, the manifestation of the purest thing that man can be.
Yes.
That is what God is. And I'm all for that. I think that's great. It beats the hell out of Vietnam, I'll tell you that right now. I like it. It's great.
So please try to help us this moment.
Well, I certainly shall. We'll certainly put this in put it in the paper, and if it helps through that particular medium, why, I you know, that would please me. You've certainly been very kind, and I appreciate talking to you. And I'd be most anxious to see what becomes of the movement, say in 6 months. Do you intend to stay here in Los Angeles, or are you traveling?
I'm traveling. But I am still here, at least for 1 or 2 months.
I see. But you will go from temple to temple?
Yes, I'm preparing to go to Hawaii. Then I may come back again here. From here I may go to New Vrindavan. And then from there I may go to London. Because I have got so many branches, so I have to travel.
Yeah, I see. Now, when you... say, who is heading up the various the other 12?
All my students.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Students.
Oh, I train my students and give him in charge.
Yes.
And he conducts.
I see.
Yes.
Is there a formalized service?
Oh, yes.
Conducted daily or?
Daily, twice.
Oh, twice a day.
Not twice, rather 4 or 5 times.
Very interesting.
We are living in God. It's simply not...
You're doing a daily thing.
Yes. We are eating God's prasada. We are talking of God, singing of God.
I will say this, it's a little different. The scriptures are somewhat different. Scriptures are more complete and I think more intellectually satisfying to modern man than, say, the other scriptures, which tend to be somewhat historical.
You mean you're talking about the Testaments? This is opposed to the Western Testament.
They're more scientific.
Yeah.
More scientific.
Well, what are you talking about? A la the Adam and Eve story kind of thing, you mean?
Yes, as opposed to that kind of a story. These are more timeless in one sense. In other words, it's as timely now.
This is meaningful right now.
You don't have to have any historical background at all.
Yeah.
So, in that sense, it's more complete. It tells you more about what your relationship
Does it assume, is it all premised upon a belief in God?
Oh yes, all of this belief, but it actually tells you how you can experience
In other words, if
experience.
one did not believe in God and he picked this up, it could tell him
tell
how
you
he could experience
how
it
to get there.
to prove then for himself
Yes.
that there was
whether,
one.
Yes, whether he believes it or not.
Yes,
It
that's
tells him how, in other words, whether he believes there's New York City or not, it tells him how to get there by following this such and such. And there are so many ways, about 4 or 5 ways in Bhagavad Gita, how you can get to Krishna. And there are different ways to feel the different types of human nature.
Mm-hmm.
So if one way doesn't work for one man, another way will work for another.
Mm-hmm.
A way of action, and there's a way of meditation, and there's a way of learning. So many ways to approach Krishna.
And how long have you been involved in this thing?
Oh, it's 2.5 years.
Yes, since I practice, he is my first student.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's terrific.
Yeah.
And have you have demonstrated for yourself then that this has efficacy and meaning?
Oh, yeah. Beyond the shadow of a doubt. The further you travel a road, the closer you get. That there's no doubt to that.
That's marvelous. That really is.
But there's no easy way, and I know that a lot of the young people now are taking LSD to get there easy. With a $5 trip, they can get to God. But,
Yeah.
This hasn't proved itself to be really the case. So a lot of it's just a $5 trip to an insane asylum for many.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. I did a motion picture on the hippie side. That's very close to that. I thought that the acid thing was sort of had, though.
There's no easy way out. There's no really easy way out. It's just, you have to travel the road.
Mm-hmm.
But if you take it seriously, it is very easy. Yes. It is easy at the same time.
Yeah, it's joyful. It's joyful. It may be like Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, it's like poison in the beginning. Maybe like poison in the beginning with nectar at the end. Because the other forms of happiness are like nectar in the beginning, but they're poison at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So LSD is like nectar in the beginning, poison at the end. This is like maybe like poison at the beginning, but nectar at the end. Poison at the beginning because we have to withdraw